Shit, my bad. StreamYard trying to step they shit up now, and you can control people audio that's on your live, and now you can see the text message. People fucking shit like like what's that I forgot the name of that damn, not TikTok, what's that damn streaming site? I forgot. It's been so long since I've been on it. It's crazy. That streaming site. You just go there and stream all day. They try to have it look like that. Oh fuck. I forgot that streaming site. Now I gotta look this bitch up. Hold on. It's at the tip of my fucking tongue. Streaming game sites. Ain't no way to fuck that shit. I can't remember it. Start with a damn T. This shit gonna eat my mind. It's coming close. Hold on, y'all. Stream Sims 4. This, I know Steam. I got Steam. What the fuck is that site? Twitch. How the fuck I forgot the name of that site? Twitch, bro. I said start with a T. Anyway, I am ready after this to take a nice shower and actually get up for the day. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. I actually got a good little nap in. I'm actually going to stay up for the rest of the day. Listen, I was once told we don't make choices, that life is not a choice, that life happens as it's supposed to be, that we don't make choices. And I'm like, very interesting. But I believe we do. Believe our choices come by whatever vibrational alignment is in our life. We used to say this way, that way, or whatever, right? And everything in my life was always a vibrational alignment. Who was around me? What was the influence? What was this? Da 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 da. Going on and on. But also remember someone once telling me, who told them, so they told me, we choose how we feel. I was like, do we really choose how we feel? What about our feelings? What about emotions? What about energy? What about this? It's like, no, we choose how we feel. Now, what I've gotten now, the more I realize, we choose how we feel. A lot of everything with people and their feelings and their emotions is based off of ego, jealousy, envy. I'm still reading that book on jealousy. A lot of things that people do is what they define love to be. That's why so much definitions of love. That's why you have people who deciding to go write books. You know, people who write relationship books, that have relationship books like Steve Harvey and shit, versus people who are actual clinical psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, and stuff. Ever notice the difference of how the writing is? Very different. And what I have noticed about every single book that I have ever come to read, whether it's about execution, whether it's about discipline, whether it's about success, 12 laws of success, whether it's about anything that involves love, anything, relationships, it always comes back to one thing. And it comes back to the self. Every time. It comes back to that first universal law, the universal law of self-preservation. You owe somebody money, say pay yourself first, then pay them. Self-preservation. That whole thing I love to talk about. Put the mask on you before you help somebody next to you put their mask on. Self-preservation. Take care of yourself. The better you take care of yourself, the better you can take care of the children. You don't take care of the children, the better you take care of yourself. Because once you fall apart, they're going to fall apart right down with you. Self-preservation. So therefore, this is just what I have come to see. Our feelings, our emotions, who we allow to feel for, is all about our self-preservation. We choose to say, I like you. We choose to say, I love you. We choose to say, I trust you. We choose to shut our feelings down. We choose to not trust anymore. We choose to hate. We choose to be angry. Today I was minding my business. Somebody walked past me. It was a dude and a chick. And I just moved my cart out the way because my cart had stuff like sticking out, right? And the person's energy was just so nasty, right? And I sat down and thought about myself, and I'm like, ooh, that motherfucker toxic. You know what I'm saying? But then I thought to myself, and I was like, people walk around here projecting because they don't know how to go internal. People walk around here constantly on a mission to project their energy and negativity on the people, whatever's going on in their head, inside themselves, whatever. I had to realize who I am and that people masks are going to lift. I unfortunately have planets in the 12th house and I'm a Scorpio rising. Okay. So people's masks are going to lift. Even if they cannot, even if they try to pretend, it's just not going to work. And so I accept that as well. I also accept that about myself, that I don't walk around here speaking to people. I don't walk around here acknowledging people. I just want people to get out my way. I accept that I come from a place that's really motherfucking rude and disrespectful. I accept that. Amongst other things in my life that I have just come to accept. And that's all I can do is accept it. Sat down. Not sat down. Well, I would sit down and I was in my happy place. I got all the things today that made me happy. Like every little item I could think of that made me happy today. And when I did that, I was like, man, today's a great day. That's like, that's what I said today. I was like, yeah, today's a great day, man. It's a beautiful day. I'm doing everything that I love to do. Every single thing that I love to do. It's a great day. And, you know, that's what happened when I walked out. And then I was thinking about this today while I was at Starbucks. We're like, I was like, I pretty much had like a situation in my personal life, right? And I said, the way that I felt about you, I'm closing that off. I said that to them. It was like, I can close it just as much as I felt it for you. It's just as easy as I can close the door on what I felt for you. And I meant that. And that's exactly what I did. And I realized in other aspects of my life where I have put myself in situations completely lying to myself and making my feelings feel and make it believe what it's supposed to believe in that situation that it's not. Now, only you who are in tune enough can get everything that I'm saying. And it was through these moments in my life and these experiences that I had from my 30s until I was by my, on my own and stuff like that, that I began to see. And I'm being like, I was like, we choose how we feel. We choose if we want to care. We choose if we want to have compassion. We choose if we want to have empathy. We choose if we want to give a fuck. And there are no rules for giving a fuck. And even when you say you reap what you sow, there are some things that I also feel like I don't think it matters so much in the fucking universe. If someone says to me, don't I have a cute baby? And I say, no, not at all. No. Am I going to reap what I sow for saying that that's not a cute baby? And what if the person who asked me is a stranger? If you're talking to a stranger, I think you get what you get from that stranger. That's just how I feel. You get what I'm saying to you? I'm just starting to realize this is why it's called common courtesy. That's why it's called common courtesy, because these are the common things that we have been programmed to do. The older I get, the more I don't give a fuck about not being liked when I walk into a room. The older I get, the more I don't give a fuck if nobody motherfuckers turn their head or whatever. I don't give a fuck. And I could say that from my heart that I don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck because it's vibrational. If it's meant for you to be aligned with me, because you have to think, I'm telling y'all all, you have to think like this. If it's meant for you to be aligned with me, then we will be aligned together. We will cross paths. We say hello. We say good morning to each other. We'll spark a conversation. But I know for sure you're not anything that I am. You have to develop this level of confidence in yourself. I don't give a fuck if your belly's hanging over. Don't worry, it'll go down. You think about losing your belly enough, it'll go down. That's what happened to me. You start, you won't eat. You start quantum leaping things in your life that you think about. This is what I'm saying. You have to get to a point where you how do I say it? Where you have to focus on what it is that you are achieving for you. You have to get to the point where you focus on horse blinders focused on what is it that the life that you want to have for yourself. Being vulnerable here a little bit. I had a recent dream last night. I went from my past and they ain't wanting to fuck with me, even though I wanted to support them, everything. They ain't want to fuck with me. And I kind of was running the back of my mind, like, this would have never happened if I was alone. This would have never happened if, this. I kind of went through all these if things. There's really no such thing as if. I'm gonna tell you straight up. These things in your life from the past, they're gone. You keep the things that you're utilizing in the now from the past. Your dreams, your ambitions that you're doing now in the past. Those things matter. The other shit don't matter. I promise you they don't matter. And all things didn't happen for no reason. And so, and you have to be kind to yourself to understand that I thought it was okay to do those things at the time of my life because of my mindset, my age, who I was, what I was around. You gotta be kind to yourself a lot more. And so when you do this and you apply things to your now from what you built from your past, you built it so you have it now. That's why the bricks are being laid. You can see it physically, right? You'll see that none of that happened was an accident. Because I had to face the fact that this person was in competition with me, jealous of me, and envious of something about me. I had to face that reality. It was too many times that I have met people who had way more than I did materially, way more. But internally, they so fucked up. They don't have no love for self, and all these different things that you can't even begin to understand. And then I remember the interview with this person talking. I've never even really paid it. I think I've seen it before, but I never paid it attention. She admitted a lot of times to her insecurities. She admitted a lot of times to how she felt about herself. And I'm like, why am I surprised? Because look at her. I thought she was a beautiful person. You know what I'm saying? I still think she's a beautiful person. But that's what she felt about herself. And see, that's another thing in life that's very key. I don't give a fuck how beautiful you think a motherfucker is. You thinking them beautiful don't matter if they don't think they beautiful. Send them on their fucking way. Don't be, oh, I think you're beautiful. Don't talk about stuff like that. Nah, let them. And just like, okay, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Let them. And go on your way. Because you don't want to be around nobody like that. That goes to that old wives' tale by Maya Angelou. Somebody shows you who they are, believe them. That goes beyond. That saying is one of that shit is like the top 3 quotes of an elder. Quote, the oldest quotes ever that you will pass on to your generations to come by Maya Angelou saying that shit. Carved in motherfucking stone. It's energetically what somebody shows you who they are, you believe them. Lifestyle shows you who they are, you believe them. You gotta see it for what it is. Somebody go shopping with you, your ketchup is missing, you gotta fill in that motherfucker stole that shit. That's who they are. They're a thief. And we all know thieves can't be trusted. Why? Why do I bother? Why do I bother? Maybe there's somebody out here that comes to this show sporadically. Or maybe you come and listen to me. Catch me later. Maybe you the number ones that come popping in here and stopping and leave and stuff. Maybe you are. And maybe you're one of the people that, who knows? I am giving you something at the time that you need to receive it. And I'm okay with that. Because I promise you when I tell you, when I'm gone, I'm gone. Meaning like when I'm off this social airwave, I'm gone. I'm off of here. These kind of conversations, it's not going to be so easily accessible by me. You know, a lot of people don't keep it real like they scream keep it real. People think they're keeping it real by being, disrespectful or being shocking or being whatever the people. Some people think keeping it real is, saying something they think is outsmarting some goddamn body. A lot of people think keeping it real it defined the bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying all this to say, the thing is, what I have, okay, that Nazaya case is getting too deep. I'm just starting to what I'm really starting to see is that I want you all to understand how alignment works. I need you to understand and see how you are navigating amongst people in this world. I want you to learn how to take a spiritual bath and cleanse your aura as well as your body. I want you to really know how to wear some protection jewelry and not just a fucking evil eye. Okay, I want you to understand that. Because these are the things that I've learned that I have to come to in my life. What once was hurting me 3 months ago no longer hurts. Do you understand what I'm saying? What was hurting my feelings 3 months ago no longer hurts. And I had to tell that person, I said, look, I asked one question and they answered it. And it's like, well, I know you want this and I know you want that. I said, no, I don't. I just want to accomplish my goals, my ambitions. That's what I want. That's all I need. Fuck want. That's what I need. And they understood and we had an understanding. But what's so funny is this is where it goes into these emotional relationships and stuff that you have with people. And you have to check yourself. You have to check the people around you. A lot of people are in their ego. A lot of people are not wanting to be shamed of how people look at them. Why do you think every time somebody in a relationship, they always got the picture of the person they with on their screensaver? People at work got to show pictures of their children. And I think that shit dangerous, Pictures of their children and their families and stuff in their little cubicle and shit. And we're supposed to be focused on work. Why do you think people do that? Why do you think that when people have family members that die and shit, they passing around a box around Christmas times and Black Friday and shit, like, you know, this family member died, this family member died, I need help. Why you think they do this shit? Feelings, emotions, empathy. They know you're not going to question it. So you can say my child, and when you say words like my family, my husband, my wife, all these things bring about an emotion. But when you walk around this life and you're not moved by these things, you become a very dangerous person to people. You're labeled as mean, might even be called evil. And that's not what it is. You got to watch people like that. Manipulation goes across a grand scale. We don't have to get into that. Just go to all my dark psychology sessions and you can learn all about that. But what I really want you to focus on and understand for what I'm talking to you about is your feelings and how feelings come and go. For you women out there, especially that fuck males, let me tell you something. Did you know that an orgasm is the chemicals in your body's releasing? That's not love. And the chemicals in your body that's releasing makes you feel like you love him or her. I don't think sexual preference matters here, but I'm just saying. But for women who fuck males, the semen of him and then all of the chemicals and all of the stuff and everything he got in his semen, whoever, depend on the male, because if he's an unhealthy male, he's not going to have all these things. That's another topic. But the chemicals that release from your body, that is that orgasm that you call it, that is chemicals coming out of your body. That's not fucking love. That's not your soulmate. That's not your twin flame. You choose that shit. And I'm gonna give you another heads up. You meet somebody and you get all type of emotions and feelings and chords in your, that's your karma. And that person is going to give you a hell of a time in that relationship. Any person, including myself, well, I didn't pursue mine, but any person who has said, I met this person and I felt this energy over me and I felt it in my heart and I felt it in my sacral chakra and I felt this vibration and I knew this was my husband, my wife, ask them how that relationship going. Ask them how that relationship going and listen to how and then you have the ones that can be I see two sides. I see the ones who tell the truth and then I see the ones who are delusional. This bullshit. True emotions and feelings goes into what's close to you, what comes, your child, because you're carrying that for 9 months. That's a default type of different type of love. But then we know that there are parents that once the child becomes an adult, they can't stand that motherfucker. But that's a whole nother topic there. And we also, there's some of us out here that don't have a relationship with either of our parents and maybe have it with our grandparents. That's another topic there too. But just to get into it, when it comes to another person outside your life, I don't give a fuck if you grew up with them. That person is still a stranger. I don't care what nobody says. All of this fall in love with your best friend that the romance movies is trying to tell you and write and shit like that, that's still a motherfucking stranger. You still don't know that person until you know that person, and you're going to only know them by what they allow you to know them. Even if you dig into them and you see shit about them, either they're going to allow you to say that that's what you see or they will not allow you to see those things about them. That's just how it goes. You're always with a stranger. And that sounds real fucked up to say, but it's the truth. I don't care what nobody say. You can have a friend for years and then they begin to have their life and live their life. And next thing you know, they rear their head and you be like, what the fuck did I do? And you find out that motherfucker never liked you. You got people right now who think they got besties and all that shit. That motherfucker ain't their bestie. The person is not their bestie. That's not their friend. You got people that are together, and it's just, I'm not even getting into the avoiding attach shit. I'm not even getting to that, because that right there should be the biggest wake-up call for people, because that tells you that people are in their ego. This is why I hung up online dating altogether. I just chop that shit. Done. It's a dub on that. All right? Because nobody on there is emotionally available. Nobody on there knows what it is to have a relationship. You're dealing with damaged and traumatized adults online. You're wasting your time. I don't give a fuck if you pay for a premium account. You're wasting your time. Yeah, you're taking chances of getting catfish, even if you get on video. a waste. So what do? Just understand, whoever you love right now, you're choosing to love them. But it's only if you do your own inner work that you'll realize, am I in my ego? Am I trying to have a look for everybody else by having this person in my life and this, that, and the third? Have you ever heard people who are single and how motherfucking pathetic they sound with being single? And how they want this and how they want that and how they want their lives to be. I don't want this no more. I had a woman at my job, older woman than me, to my son. I don't want to deal with nobody in a relationship. They can't put me that we together on Facebook and private. And I'm just looking around like, I can't relate, but okay. I hear you, but I can't relate to that shit. Because I can't. Because society has created this theme of people being codependent. Do you not realize America is a very, from the Americans to the Caribbean, it's a very codependent place. Like they promote this, and then you go to somewhere like Norway, or or even like I could even say the UK somewhere where it's like people actually from the UK and shit like that, or France and stuff. These people have a very individualism way of living their lives. Even the person that in a relationship with, this is just somebody who's a part of their world that don't feel like how this American thing is. You don't see their channels where they got pictures of them and their family and kids in the background. They got themselves, they got their desk, and they got the shit that they love behind them. Anyone ever notice that? If you haven't, go look for yourself. There's this promotion of codependency when universal law says, yes, we utilize people, and we do need other people because you fucking the gas you got to pay, somebody got to turn it on, your pipe bust, you got to get a plumber. We do utilize people. We need people for that, but we don't need people to be in relationships with. That's a lie. That's one of the biggest lies. And this is why people falter. This is why people don't feel like they're worthy of anything unless they have someone loving them, when the first love is yourself. And this is the same thing that's supposed to be taught to our children. You're supposed to love yourself, but to put yourself first. Fuck relationships and girlfriends and boyfriends and shit. You put yourself first. And even if you go out here and get this person don't hold nothing important in your life but yourself. That is universal law. Even if you pull out your Bible, didn't he fucking say, should nobody have no other God but me? Isn't that for all you religious people? That's self-preservation. Thou should not kill is deeper than just the physical act of taking somebody's life. It's on so many levels, but that's still talking about you reap what you sow. That's why you get 25 years to life in prison, because every 2,500 years, everybody has the same astrological zodiac sign. Well, that's where that comes from. That's all universal law. And that's why people who be like, natural fucking life? Oh man, that's a sentence that's the worst sentence right there. I wish that upon somebody right now who took somebody's life. I hope I put it every day in the universe that nigga get natural motherfucking life for what he did. You took a mother away from her child who she talked to every day on video, on a fucking audio. You took away somebody's daughter. You took away someone's best friend. Everybody loved this person. Nigga, you need natural fucking life every day. I hope that for that motherfucker. Put in the universe every day. And then it takes internal strength to do this. It goes back to one show I did a week ago, and I said the issue with the person that has the 6 figures, that have their life together, that can take care of themselves and that's independent, is that they go to these relationship shows and they talk to these people so-called married for how many years, and make these people the creme de la creme of the answer for relationships, and they don't have no fucking answer. They are not the answer. And so therefore that person who's living this life coming to a Kevin Samuels show, a six-figure woman, a Kevin Samuels show, asking for love advice. First of all, you don't even need to be sitting down with people like this, especially not like that. For love advice, to get your face crashed and told that you need to go lower than because you were 6 and all kind of shit. You really don't know yourself, and you don't know what you're worth, because you're defining your worth by having a relationship. And you know what's going to happen when you try to define your worth by having a relationship? Do I have to tell you? You're going to compromise. Every time you're going to compromise just to have a relationship. Well, you know, I can compromise. It's okay. I can let this go. And it's like, for what? For what? When you can aim higher for yourself and get higher and put yourself in higher places. When you can live your life and have a friend that you cool as fuck with, and motherfucking they can just come along with you. Why compromise? Why do that? Just to have somebody love you when you can give that to yourself? You have to think about these things. And I also express that, you ever notice how people who so in these codependent ass relationships, they don't know beyond a conversation of actually, do you have a children or you married? They don't know beyond that. It's like that defines the completion of your life. Do you ever notice that? It's like that defines that shit. That defines their worthiness, that what they're worth in this world. And to me, that's fucking sad. The great people, the great writers, the great artists, the great musicians of the world, the great songwriters of the world, they don't have any of that around them. Their life is dedicated to their craft. And even if they have children at a certain point in their life, and they don't continue to have children anymore. And even if they had a relationship at a certain point in their life, and they don't really have relationships anymore. Because that's what self-love looks like. So when you see millennials and Gen Z, and you see more people being alone, more people traveling and doing what they're doing and speaking multiple languages, you're looking at self-love. People are calling it socially awkward and all this shit. Yeah, that could be a part of it, but it's self-love. These divested women, and I've had this conversation offline, are far behind in time. A lot of women and men are really truly focused on themselves, are really truly focused on what it is that they're achieving for their life. Okay? You know how many people I watched on TikTok who are speaking multiple languages and becoming a polyglot? Not polyamorous, a polyglot, meaning speaking multiple languages. Do not ask me. I think polyglot is like a long ass word. Do not get me to try to pronounce it. Just look it up. Some people moving their children to other countries and speaking a language with their children and giving them another life. This is what's going on out here. This is the world that we're really living in right now. I saw a meme today. It was like, you know, you can't even afford eggs and bread. Why the hell are we bringing children? How, you know, and I'm bringing children in the world. And the comment was like, why is it so many of generation of people who don't want to have children? Did you miss the fucking post? Did you miss what she said? Because that's what people fear. See, they fear that right there, that if you become an individual person, then there will be no more children if there's too many people loving themselves. That's some dark shit, even though that's not true. It just means that if the person's loving themselves, when they do decide to bring children in this world, they're going to be smarter about it. They're going to have their money together. They're going to have plans for themselves as well as that child. They're going to make sure their life is at a certain point before that child comes into this world. They're going to make sure their mind, body, and soul is at a certain balance before that child comes into their life. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that no one's going to have children. And that right there is the problem. And so when you walk around in this world and you have that type of mindset, that's an aura that you carry when you walk around here. See, I had to start realizing the way I shop, the way I walk, the way I do things, the way I talk, just the things I do, I move on such an individual, selfish level. And I don't care. I don't care about anything else. Just get out my way. That's how I feel. I hope you have the same energy as well. And I had to realize when I go to Starbucks, I don't feel that energy from nobody. Have a good time. Get what I got to get and I bounce. When I go to other places, other little supermarkets and stores and stuff like that, when I got to just get what I need to go and go, acting, people think I'm supposed to do, which is to say hi and good morning, hello, and spark a fake conversation, a fake smile. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not even looking at you. If my frequency is looking at you, you serve a purpose of what I'm looking at. If I glance at you and I pick up something about the way you dress, the way you walk, then I know when I approach you that you got what I want. You got something that I need when I approach you. But if I'm not paying you no attention, you ain't got nothing that I need. You ain't got a conversation that I want to hear. You have to develop that level of self-preservation and confidence. I had a recent situation with my rent, right? Bitch paid off. And I said, okay, from now on, around this time, my rent's going to get paid. Meaning, it's going to get paid. It's not going to be late. I'm going to make sure it get paid a week ahead. That's what I said, right? I swear to you, I said this shit to myself. Getting this shit paid, saving up my bread, not playing no games out here, right? The next thing you know, I get this letter. That shit frustrated me to the tail end. I said, what is this bitch talking about? Where's all this number? Where's all this money coming from? What is she talking about with all this money? I don't owe her this fucking money. And I had to calm down. I had to read the letter and I had to look at this thing. And I said, when I calmed down, I said, okay, I get it. This is just trying to tell me to make sure I pay the rent, right, on time. And then I was like, let me calm down. I'm going to sit down at my desk and I'm going to go back through this money and see what's going on. And I'm going to question it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come up there, highlight it, and question it. Why did I feel that way in that moment? Because I know that this person is jealous of my individualism. See, I know that when that woman comes in people's houses and it's probably a nigga in that house. It's probably a bunch of kids in the house. It's probably a lot of things going on in that house. And my house is so quiet and peaceful. And I look younger than my age. And so these things can make people feel some type of way. It just do. You may think, I'm trying to tell you, bro, you may think like the simple shit you're just doing in your everyday life, it can make somebody feel some type of way because you just existing and you just being yourself and you doing what you're supposed to do and you navigating smart. I know the world hates Black women. Black women are a major target right now. This is a part of why I'm not talking to nobody. This is why I just get out the way. I don't deal with people. I don't look at them. I don't give a fuck. I keep it short. Don't want to talk to people, smile, or fucking laugh. This is why I make sure the rent get paid. Because it's vicious out here. A Black woman got thrown, trigger warning, thrown out the window and her head popped like a fucking watermelon in the ground shaped. Because that motherfucker Hawk smashed her ass off that motherfucking balcony. I know for a fact that's what he did. Because they talked about how hard she hit that ground. And that's the symbolism of how everybody wants to do the Black woman right now. So it's my best bet as a Black woman to just stay the fuck out of people's way and just leave me the fuck alone. Okay, that's it. Just leave me the fuck alone. And because thing is, I'm not gonna sit here and let this get to me. Just do what I need to do. Okay, just do what I need to do, and it is what it is. But also keep my guard up. Stay professional. Remain very serious. Don't lose my cool. These are the things I tell myself because I realize that this motherfucking person is slow. She don't know what she doing. She not paying attention. I read all of that about her from the moment she was over here. And I know she was trying to fill me out, but she couldn't because I don't talk. And the only thing I talked about was business. I didn't get personal. I don't do none of that. It's business because that's how it's supposed to be. But I understand what becomes the problem. And I don't let people in my world either. I don't let people come in my home for that reason alone. You know, do you understand a full furnished house, a decorated home, an interior decorated home, being an artist on top of that, having a peaceful, quiet home? These things can make people feel some type of way. And especially having a cat on top of it, a black one. These things can make people feel some type of way because that type of energy, you force people to look at themselves in a way that you don't even think that you're doing it, but you are. You see, when people are around people who talk a lot and yap all the time and yada 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 about a bunch of asinine shit that don't even fucking matter and always and this and that and they got a bunch of kids around and they got this and that and they got giggling and laughing. They don't have to think and reflect and stuff like that. My friend don't even come stay the night with me no more because she's like, I don't sleep. I can't sleep when I'm here. And I'd be like, why can't you sleep? She'd be like, because you don't go to sleep. So I can't sleep. I was like, yeah, you know, I was like, yeah, like I've been through this before. She's like, oh, you comparing me to other people. I said, no, 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 no. I'm not comparing you. I've been through this before about my sleeping pattern. And I know what's going on. Another thing's like, excuse me, y'all, smoking. Another thing that's like key that I come to see as well is like environment matters as well. What kind of environment you're in and what kind of people. But I'm here to tell you that it's still going to be the same thing, even if you think things are going to be different. You know what I mean? It's still going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? 1 second, texting somebody back. It's still going to be the same thing because of who you are energetically, especially in these times. People need to be shady and looking down on people and all kind of shit. People walk around here wanting to be the center of attention when they walk into a space and they want somebody to say hello and be in their face and give them all this goddamn attention. There's so many people who are like this. And it's like, bro, get that weird ass energy out of here. You have no sense of self. It is not a normal thing to be a black person, especially a black woman, to carry that because black women have black women are really people's little puppies out here, people's little mammies out here, just coming into the room and bringing light and sunshine and being upbeat and shit for motherfuckers that you don't even know. Motherfuckers trying to jump in your face and want this and that from you and you not get like it's really crazy. And this what comes with the territory. And it doesn't matter because here's the thing. Let me tell you what's funny. Even if you did try to say hi and come into a room, ain't nobody gonna speak back to you. Everybody going purposely make sure they make you feel some type of way, because that's what they want to do anyway. Trust me when I tell you, that's what they want to do anyway. It's just that you smart enough to know that's what they want to do, so they just get ignored. People can see when you're in your little happy space. People can see the joy and the how peaceful you are within, even if you don't think so. People can see that you don't give a fuck when you really don't give a fuck. I had one time I was walking and this dude, very, very short dude, big ass white Jeep, loud, obnoxiously loud fucking music. And I went to cross the street and he purposely stopped his Jeep halfway, like in front of where I was walking. And I just walked around because I don't play with cars. So I just walked around and I did what I did. And I said some shit to him, you know, I sent some juju shit to his ass while I was walking inside his to his face, you know what I'm saying, in my own way. And I just kept it moving. I said, this motherfucker, you got a fucking Napoleon complex, dude. Damn. And I could see it. I was like, man, don't nobody even like this motherfucker, this little motherfucker. Nobody even give a fuck about you in the room. I'll let you have that little win. Who cares? Because that person wanted somebody to yell at them and stick their middle finger up and then just ignore them. You have people who are glutton for punishment. You have people that they feed off of the attention of other people trying to hurt them. They're so fucked up. Fuck the narcissism and psychopath talk. They're just so fucked up. And what's really happening is the fucked upness is being way more exposed with Trump doing this whole deportation thing. It has really, really, really opened the doors. Trump has something about him that's very plutonic. It's like he just opens these wombs, or he opens up something that's the truth. He just opens the door and all the truth just runs out of it. And a lot of things is not, all of this stuff is going to change everything. Because a lot of, I could already see, I'm going to tell y'all from now on, after this man is going to be the president, a lot of Black people are not going to be the same as they were before. People fucked up worse than they think that people fucked up more than they know that they fucked up. A lot of Black people are not going to be the same. There's going to be, it's already a shift, but there's going to be just something energetically, especially with Saturn going to be in Aries, then it's going to hit Taurus, then it's going to hit Cancer. It's going to be a while, but when it hits all these places, the last time it was in these signs was 1968, 69. Saturn is in Aries and Taurus between that time. So these people with this shit, they're going to start really feeling what the consequences of what they've done and the things that they said. They're going to really reap what they sowed. Especially they did that shit during the time when Saturn was in Pisces. Go look at the astrology shit to understand it more. Now, getting back to choosing how you feel. What do you find yourself giving a fuck about? Why do you give a fuck about it? How often do you get out of the town that you're in? Where do you live at? Are you in the Midwest? Are you in the South? Are you in the Southern fucking West Coast area? Are you in the big city? Where are you? You need to get out. That's always the solution. Go take yourself somewhere outside of where you ever been before. Take yourself somewhere where you love things that you love to do. I love the library. I love museums. I love history. That's just me. I love that. I love motherfucking Starbucks and goddamn fucking cleaning supplies and shit like that. I love shit like that. Take yourself to places that you enjoy. And therefore, you'll have yourself in these spaces with people as yourself. Go to an RSVP event. I encourage everybody, if you can make it, try to hit a RSVP event like yourself that number one encourages you to either buy a new outfit to go, to dress your flyers. Put on your dopest shit, your fits, right? Put yourself in a space that's out of your comfort zone so that you do dress the part, because it doesn't matter. Because even if you dress the part and you get there, you're going to trust me. When you see how them people dress, you're going to start dressing up more than what you saw. You might go buy you an outfit while you're there. That happens too. I've seen people go buy a whole new outfit when they were in the States. They're like, let me dress up and mix in with everybody. Take yourself to spaces like that. Pick up a book, any topic that intrigues you, that you want to know. You don't have to get a physical book. You can just get an audio book. Audible.com is great. It's worth the price. The books, they got so many discounts going on right now. Jump on them. They got between 30% to 50% to 85% discounts going on right now. Jump on those discounts, especially if you're a first timer. Sometimes they let you get a free book or let you get a free point, right? A point or a book. Take advantage of these things and dig into something. Expand your mind. That's the first thing I encourage. Because when you start to read things or you start to put yourself in certain spaces and you begin to expand your mind, what happens is your energy begins to expand out and you begin to navigate, and you tend to just have this energetic navigation to spaces that match you. And it's beautiful. I talk it because I live it. And then what begins to happen is your mind begins to shift about things and life and people. If you can take your, I mean, you don't have to go out of state. I mean, you don't have to. If you live in a certain state, just take yourself within your state to go to spaces. Go to, if you live in rural areas, go take yourself to a more city space with more city people. And when you do these things, you're going to start navigating, and you're going to tell you, you're not going to care about shit like when you walked in the room, nobody said hi to you. A bunch of strangers didn't say good morning. You're not going to care about that. But you will care if you go to your mama house and nobody say nothing to you. Or you may not, depending on what level of life you're on. You start attracting people that you meet that's reading the books that you read, or go to a place where other people are just reading books outside. Whatever it is that you're doing or navigating for yourself, you have to take the steps to get there. Feelings are a choice. They come and they motherfucking go, I promise you. You come from New York City like me, there's a whole thing we say. You fall in love 10 times in one day. You can fall in love 10 times in one day in New York City. That's how beautiful the people are. Ain't nothing like a motherfucker that's fly and fine at the same motherfucking time. Ain't nothing like that. Ain't nothing like walking outside seeing a motherfucker that's fine and fly, motherfucker that probably don't got the best outfit on, but they look good. Or just motherfucker, everybody just fine. Everywhere you go, a motherfucker just fine and sexy. You get over it. And maybe because I had the luxury, that's luxury, I believe. I believe you go somewhere and everybody fine, everybody look good, everybody look fly. That's the fucking luxury. I've had that luxury. And I lived on the beach. So, people kept their body up. Them surfer bodies got the banging ass bodies. Like, come on. Them surfer bodies ain't nothing to fuck with. That's the body I wanted right there. Okay? All of this type of shit. So I do have a blueprint. I do have a head start in this shit. I tell you all the time, I live in the projects and I can go get Botox. I want you to understand. I want you to hear what I just said. I lived in the projects and I could go get Botox. I lived in the projects and I could go get a BBL while I was in the projects because I live right there on the beach line. I lived in the projects and I got $60 spa facials and shit like that. Good ass facials too. Like steamed up everything, motherfucking do the extraction, all of that. But got motherfucking Brazilian waxes, European waxes and shit. Discounts. I lived in the projects doing this. So I got a head start in the things I talk about with manifesting and vibrations and quantum leaping. But I also, when I realized, okay, if this job opportunity is not happening, which would get me out the projects, I'm out of here. I just said, fuck it, I was out. I left a big part of my life behind me. That's who you're talking to. I left a big part of my life. But one thing that never left me is manifesting and who I am. See, What happened in my life is I just had to accept who I am. I just had to accept that I attract jealousy and envy. But this is, what do I do now in life? How do I handle this in life now? Like Olivia Pope said, it's handled. So how do I handle it? How do I move accordingly? How do I move smarter? How do I design my home better? How do I organize my home better? How do I organize my life better? How do I do this smarter? How do I check in with my work ethic? I did something a lot of people at my job was not doing. I worked the weekend. I worked the weekend. I worked full shift Saturday and Sunday. They called me in for Monday. And the only reason why I said no, because I don't say no to money, is because I did not want to overdo myself. I did not want to overdo myself. At least I had that boundary for myself that I was like, I'm not going to overdo myself. People looked at me crazy for working for money, for working Sunday. What's the big deal about working Sunday? I got to get this money. I got bills to pay. I got goals. I got money to save up. I have a certain X amount of bread that I like to save up. I like to have cushion money. I like to jump into that. No matter what happens, I got to jump into, like, this is how I live my life. And I build that for myself from my mid 30s to my 40s. Actually, my early 30s into 40s, but I really built it from my mid 30s to my 40s. So this is the kind of individual that you are talking to, that you hear over the goddamn airways, wherever you are. Okay? And I'm here to tell you straight up, not sell you, tell you straight up that what I'm telling you works. And there's so much more I can tell you. You got to go to my other shows. It's the people you're around that can block your vibrational alignment. The things you engage in on a consistent basis can block your vibrational alignment. There's something today I said, you know what? Whenever I feel this way, I am going to do something else with myself. That's what I said. I'm going to do something else with myself, because I know I did this, and then, I did some good sleeping, and I did this, and I did some good sleeping, but I got to find something else to do with this energy. This is something I told myself. So you have to also be able to have the capacity to self-reflect. Read books on teaching you how to self-reflect. The only way you can really learn how to self-reflect is you have to be kind to yourself. You can't beat yourself up. The number one things I'm going to tell you, don't beat yourself up about. But it's okay if you do. But I want you to not beat yourself up about it, okay? If you live the life of being promiscuous, okay? I didn't live a life of being promiscuous, all right? That was one of the things that I pride myself on. That's why I was celibate for most of my 30s. If you live your life being promiscuous, if you have gone to jail or prison, what was the third one I was thinking about? If you have experienced constant betrayal from people, what I want you to do, okay? Let's say promiscuity. You're going to have to reflect, were you SA'd young? Were you experiencing things? Because SA doesn't have to always be physically on you. You can have SA abuse around you from the adults around you, especially if you were 80s baby, in them 70s and boomers and shit. Right? You have to be able to tell yourself that with the promiscuity. You have to also look at, accept that sex is natural. Okay? Sex is natural. Now, if sex started for you very young, I would encourage you to go to some kind of sex therapist so you can heal through that, right? But we're not talking about that. Let's just talk about consenting adult sexuality, promiscuous. I still do believe promiscuity comes from sexual abuse, because what I notice is when you're an adult and you're having sex with whoever, or however you're having sex, or you go to a sex party or whatever you do, you don't see it as promiscuity. I've noticed that like an adult doesn't, is this, I'm having sex, I'm exploring my body, I'm exploring the different parts of my pleasures, I'm erotic and I like massages and I like this and I like foot play. As an adult, that's how your mind thinks about sex. But when someone is promiscuous, I find that promiscuity is associated with being very young or being of an age that would not be appropriate of having sex. That's what I have come to realize. So you have to come to terms with that and heal through that. And everything I just said, are you the adult that accepts that, hey, I'm sexually explorative, I'm living my life, I'm protecting myself, I'm being a consenting adult with these activities, and I'm going to I honestly feel like I'm going to be very honest with you. You want to be grown and sexy? Life can actually be going to adult sex events, parties, okay? Because and know what you're getting into, please properly know what you're getting into. They're not going to be quick to tell you where they're located. They're not going to be quick. Those are very sacred. You're going to have to find, okay? They're going to be like, make a left, make a right, whatever. If you don't see it, you ain't meant to go. Places like that are more adult secure. They're not really out there. They have the code words, getting to people in the world and learn it and stuff like that. Please be careful. But I'm just giving you some tips to just let you know. That to me is one of the safest and healthiest ways, because I will tell you this, the people in those spaces really practice safe sex. Okay. Very, very grown and sexy. Consent is very big. A lot of those places do not consume alcohol or drugs. They do not tolerate it. They might accept you smoking weed if it's like not too many people outside, right? Depending on the location. But just to say, that is the most healthiest and adult way. Okay. And a lot of times when you go into those spaces, you're going to find people of a certain caliber. These are business people. These are shit. You might find fucking people who might be actors and performers, depending on what level of life you are on. I've seen somebody have a sex party with a bunch of goddamn beluga whales, and nothing wrong with being BBWs. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, wow, sex party on the fucking project first floor. And it was like, it's in a house. That shit looked fucked up. That shit looked fucked up. You got me fucked up. Please don't take yourself to places like that. Those are the places that don't practice safe sex properly. And those are the places that will get fuck up your life. Okay. Please don't do that. Be grown and sexy about it. That's just what I have to say about that. Number 2, you've been in jail or prison. That one's a hard one because I have avoided that like the plague in my motherfucking life. I pat myself on the back. All right. Unlike all my other cousins, everybody done been in jail, prison, or both genders. Okay. The more women have been in jail and prison in my family than damn men. Okay. So I'm going to tell you this. I believe anybody who has come from jail or prison, because they say it changes you, I think you need to take a spiritual bath. I think you need to take a spiritual bath, burn some sage over your body, take a spiritual bath, a 7-day spiritual bath once a month. That's what I think that you need to do. You have to cleanse your aura and cleanse your spirit, because your mind has to develop to society depending how long you've been in there. But if you got out in time, or you got in it, like if you young and you did your time and you came out, hey, go to places where other people who have been, get a support group. Get a support group and play in experiences like that. I encourage a support group. Whoever's been in prison for a certain time, trying to help you get back on your feet. People who are actually living the life that they say they are, and they can help you, and you just need to sit down and just talk about it, or, where you feel more comfortable, maybe because you don't feel like if you talk to a personal therapist, you can choose therapists that specialize in a lot of things. You can specialize in people who just came out of prison. Like, you can choose that. But I think any of you who have experienced jail or prison, emotional support group. Okay. Betrayal of friendship. Now, this one is my favorite one. Okay. This one is a big one in my life, but I'm going to tell you why this one is big. If you be honest with yourself, the betrayal was in your face before it happened. The betrayal of that person was in your face before it happened, and you didn't want to accept it, or you didn't have the wisdom to see it, right? Betrayal in life Again, I'm talking about a basic friendship betrayal. Anybody in here, if you have been viciously assayed or anything like that, please just go get help. Please go get a support group. Please go get therapy. I'm not going there with it. I'm talking about basic, somebody you thought was a friend, they said some shit to you, you end up fighting, or they tried to fight you, or this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. Maybe I did fight, whatever betrayal you get from a friend. You need to accept that betrayal was there before it started. You may have to look at who's around that person as well. You may have to accept the fact that person may have never liked you. But why do we have these experiences of a friend that betrays us? Why do we have these experiences? Because you're betraying yourself. See, when you hear people say this, right? Be like, man, people always using me. You might say, no, you allow yourself to be used, and you just be like, what the fuck? How's that supposed to help me? No, it's the truth. You got betrayed because you were betraying yourself. You weren't being honest with yourself about something. You get that reflected. You get this that you like to be in. You get everything reflects who you are internally. And if anything is a betrayal, a lie, whatever, it's something you're betraying and lying to yourself about. There's somebody on my job, right? I be watching them. Not like that, but if this person was to ever do anything, I would not be surprised. Sometimes you have to play chess and be prepared for what's to come, but that takes wisdom to do that. I also will say that rejection is truly protection. They may not be somebody that you need to be too close to. They may not be somebody that's trustworthy. I bet you if you look around them, you're going to find that anybody who I had a fallout with, they had fallouts with people that I was just like, damn, this person don't seem like such a bad person that they making them out to be. See, what I had to learn was, I got too caught up with people's material shit in their lives. I got too caught up with people's accolades and accomplishments and degrees. And I made that mean something. And I understand why I did that. And so, because I did that, that's why, whatever I just said, I forgot my thought. Oh, because I did that, that is why I kept having fallouts with people. The internal means everything. I'm not saying that the physical don't matter. You can have it both ways. You have somebody that dress nice, look good, look appropriate, and internally they're good. But the internal matters more than anything. And understanding that is why I move the way I move. The internal, the spirit of a person is truly who they are. You know, I was thinking about somebody who said to me, asked me, why do I like Starbucks, right? I might have said this before, but I'm saying it again. That's why I like Starbucks. I said, I had to not get offended. Like, I had to take everything in my tone and not be offended by that question, y'all. And it was like, it's a city thing. And they kind of giggled. So it's a city thing. Maybe it still came out, that tone. So this is what city people do. Because it is. But the really thing is deeper than that. A lot of writers, a lot of creators, a lot of people who are A lot of the creatives go to Starbucks. The person who created Starbucks did some kind of magic with that place. Every time you turn around, somebody got a computer, they got free internet, you know? Every YouTube series I ever watched, every movie, every TV show I ever watched on Netflix, somebody's in motherfucking Starbucks writing something, doing a meeting or something. You could have meetings in Starbucks. So what was more insulting was how the fuck you even ask the question, why do you like Starbucks? What kind of fucking question is that to even ask somebody? Because that is vibrational alignment. And that also tells you the intelligence of that person. So that's not somebody that, you know, I showed them people I know, but I can't really show them who I am. I can't show myself. And my friend was like, you know, you should, you know, my girl was like, you know, you should, you know, she wants to hang out with you and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, everybody can't hang out with me. Everybody can't hang out with me. And you have to develop that type of mentality too. Because the moment that that person hangs out with you and sees that you like to go to RSVP event, that if you go to a show, it's probably not the music that they listen to, but if you go to a show, you like to make sure you're in the VIP section, or you like to sit on the side and watch the show. You don't like to be all the way in the audience. Once they see how you live your life and how you move, they might feel some type of way about who you are. So you can't let people into your world like that. People have to be deserving of you. Even when I have my apartment, I don't let people in like that. I don't really let like people, because my space is like an office space. It's a chill space. It's natural light in here and all that stuff. So if somebody come in this living room space, it's quiet, you know, and you're going to look around and see things clean and everything and this, that, and the third. And I'm going to be shaking and moving, and I might talk to you. I might not. I might just make sure everything's good and this, that, and the third. And that's it. But you're going to feel it, y'all. Okay? You're going to feel the shadiness. You're going to feel people's envy and people almost hate for you. You're going to feel all of that. But you navigate through that. You get that spiritual work up. Okay? You get that, we spiritual over here. You get that spiritual work up over here. You feel me? That's the biggest answer. But you know what? You remain who you are. And stay true to who you are. Because guess what? It's them, and it's going to be another them, and another them, and it's also going to be a whole group of people that love you for who exactly everything that you are. And that's all that matters. All that other shit don't matter. So people, feelings are a choice. And you also have to catch that you're not picking up somebody's energy like I did today. Yeah, I picked up a nasty ass energy because I ain't fucking look at them. I just moved out of the way. I think I was talking to my girl. I think I was saying something to her or something. I just moved out of the way. I don't Nazi dread myself and everything. And I got my own style of doing it. You don't see a lot of women that do this style that I do. Because I done been around enough rosters to know how to do motherfucking Nazis in my motherfucking head. But that's just me. Because my life is so obsessively engulfed of where I needed to be. My life is so obsessively engulfed in the things that I'm writing over here, the things that I'm creating, the things that I'm hanging up, and the stories I'm telling, and all this other shit, sing songs that I'm writing. My life is engulfed in that. That my social battery is going to go down if you're not talking about anything that involves what my life is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want you to understand there's nothing wrong with that. Pay attention to your life. I tell everybody, get a burn book and write it down. What do people see when they look at you? Why do people approach you when they talk to you? Why? Why are people approaching you when they talk to you? I recently had some guy come to me and say, if you was a gambling woman, what scratch off would you play? He knew to ask me that shit. I pointed out 3 and he took the blue one. He knew to ask me that shit. Like, she looked like she know her shit. There's nothing wrong with that. I know why he did that. I don't gamble. I told y'all my gamble story. My family gambles. I don't want the DNA. My safe way of gambling is Dave and Buster's, y'all. I be gambling hard on Dave and Buster's. I be spending all my money up on gambling in Dave and Buster's, but it's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Because I get the tickets back if I lose. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel so bad because it's not like actual money. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially I save up on I still got my Dave and Buster's fucking card and tickets and stuff that I save up just to gamble. That's my healthy way of gambling, because I don't want to be like my dad and my grandma's side. I got a generation of family that gamble all the way to the islands of motherfucking Cuba. I'm good. Okay, no good, no way, no. Not doing it. Listen, another thing. I want you all to understand, I'm not trying to make you be mean. I want you to be strong. I don't want you worrying about shit that people worry about. If you find yourself engulfed in that small town mind of worrying about shit and gossiping about shit, it don't matter. Get the fuck outside. Go somewhere. Go do something different. It's a waste of your life. People who call to gossip all day are a waste of time. They're a big waste of time. But people who call you, and you still have to be careful with this too, but they not just call you, but the people who want to do with you, come on, let's go here. I saw this event. We can go get some fabrics. I saw the screenwriter event. Come with me. You know, people who have vision. Or I thought about, or who you collab with people. That's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? People you collab with. Listen, I got this great idea. What you think about this? What you think about this? You understand what I'm saying? Those are the kind of people that you want to have in your circle. Those are the kind of people that you want to have by your side. You feel me? You don't want, excuse me, headphone users. You don't want it no other way. Trust me when I tell you. Yo, I just bought a sidebar. I just bought one of them laptop holders, that you can sit on your lap with the pillow under it. I ain't know these shit still existed, y'all. I bought one today. All right. I was like, hell yeah, baby. And that bitch was cheap too. These shits was never that cheap. When I was growing up, I'd be like, you'd be paying a little like $25 or something for these things. And I already got a cooler and stuff on my computer, so I'm good. Okay? It's about what we can do together, accomplish, or people you actually collab with that matter. So let's talk about collaborations. I want to make something loud and clear about collaborations. Please be grown about how you collab with people. Please don't be like, okay, let's collab, bestie, let's do this. No. Be professional. Create minutes, create meetings, make your communication and meetings and stuff serious. Be mindful of how much of your intellectual property that you share. Also make it clear inside of the minutes or whatever communication, virtual communication you have, paper communication, typing, whatever, that this is this. Even if you have to motherfucking put a little signature at the end of it, keep it professional. Be smart. Okay? Be smart about your time, how much time you choose to spend with the person that you're also collaborating with. Like I said, you have to keep it professional. You have to. Why am I telling you this? I had someone I was collaborating with, I was doing art with and stuff. And I had already was making money because I was what was I doing? I was a personal assistant to somebody. That's another mistake that I made. But I was a personal assistant to somebody. And at the time. And so I did that job for a little bit. And so what had happened was this person I was working with doing art eventually situations and end up getting back in contact with them, and we was doing art. And I take responsibility for my part too. I was talking about things that was too personal and stuff like that. That's why I say you gotta keep it professional. And I was just like, you not pay me once, you never get use you allow yourself to be used. And it just was getting a little crazy. All right, typical shit. Just get a little crazy. And then I had another situation because I eventually just didn't talk to that person no more because they did some shit, and I was just like, I'm good. You did this before, and I should have known then. And I'm sitting here. It's a lot. The next time I had somebody that pretty much pushed themselves, like, oh, I'll be a manager, this, that, and the third, and I let them and stuff. But of course, that didn't last but for 2 weeks, right? Here is the problem with that, and where you have to be careful, and that's including me being a personal assistant for somebody. You have to make sure the intentions of people. This is why you get professional. This is why you get the minutes together. This is why you put papers to work and you put your signatures on it and ask them to sign it or something like that. This is what you do all this for. Because the moment that you show seriousness, and if they try to make mockery of it and they don't want to do it, then that is a telltale sign that they're not serious about the work they're doing. What happened was all of these people became simple fucking distractions. I kept allowing myself to be distracted by these people, but that's because of energetically what I was around and what kind of space and energy that I shared. I was self-sabotaging. And so now in my life, where I'm no longer self-sabotaging because I've been with myself for so long now, I can put my foot down and say this, that, and the third, and this is what's going to happen. And I know that the person that I'm choosing to collab with is the best person. And if I collab with anybody else, I'm going to know yes or no. That's how you do it. Because when you begin to build a life like that and your mind begins to stay focused on things like that, when you walk outside, you carry that energy. So like today, I threw on a very simple outfit, but it was very comfortable, right? I think I had my Crocs on, but I had a very comfortable outfit on, and I was just feeling very much more comfortable because I still had some kind of clothes on. And I was comfortable in the way that I look for today. But then when it comes to me really, really being more professional, like finally cutting and doing my undercut and shit, and fixing myself up or whatever the hell I'm gonna do, I'm gonna really be dressed up and really fixing myself up every time I walk outside. I'm gonna keep a very tight look about myself when I walk outside. Why is that? Because now I'm building the frequency of I'm writing this, I'm creating this. I got my cork boards, I got this, I bought all of my supplies and stuff today that I really need, and it was cheap and I can afford it, and it's not as expensive as it usually would be. and I can just go ahead and get to work and do the things I need to do. I'm watching my lectures. I apply for this site or whatever, and I'm learning what I can learn. And so every day I'm just taking it in, taking it in, taking it in. And I'm applying it to my life. I'm applying it to whatever I'm creating. And then I go over here and I listen to this audiobook for a little while and take notes or whatever I have to do. But every day, everything is application. And so therefore, the way I dress, the way I carry myself, the places I frequent, and all these different things are going to start reflecting that back. I even thought about even going back to smoking cigars again. It got that deep. I thought about even just smoking cigars again. Because I done been pulling myself into a certain frequency and vibration where I'm like, I don't even want to go to certain gas stations and stores anymore. Why? Because that is what's going to happen to you as you navigate. You ain't going to look at it as, oh, that's so ghetto and trashy. It's just going to be like, I don't like the vibes here. I don't want to be associated with the vibes here. So because I don't want to be associated with the vibes here, I don't want to buy anything from here no more. And I'm going to catch myself if I do want to go anywhere. I'm just not going to go here no more. Do this and that. Attend whatever I need to attend to learn what I need to learn. And then that's how you get your virtual mentors and muses. The muses all it comes to you, but that's how you get your virtual mentors and these different things that you begin to navigate with, and life begins to start happening for you, not to you. It happens for you. Do not let this world try to tell you that you are only complete if you have another person standing next to you that loves you and can say that they love you and say that you're worthy of being loved. You should be standing with yourself and loving yourself, no matter if it's your children there, whether it's a husband or a wife there. You should be standing there with yourself, with love in yourself. No way do you let no one in this world try to make you feel some type of way because they asking you about marriage. You need to say it with your chest like me, like, hell no, I'm not married. You be like, hell no, I'm not married. And depending, I laughed in somebody's face for asking me about marriage. I cracked the fuck up. And she laughed so hard. She said, I said, I didn't mean to laugh in your face like that, but I'm just saying. She was like, you said that shit like, girl, bye. And she began to laugh with me. Okay, because she wasn't married herself either. You got to say it with your chest. Let people know I ain't like you. I don't live like that. Sometimes you might have to be like, I don't live like that. I don't live like that. And be okay with being that way. You don't owe nobody nothing. You don't owe your mom grandchildren. You don't owe your dad grandchildren. You don't owe your grandma more grandchildren. That's a lie. You owe yourself what you owe yourself. Even a mother, I'm saying this. But I'm going to give my children this much wisdom to tell them, you need to focus on yourself. You don't owe nobody no goddamn faithfulness. You don't owe nobody no fucking commitment. You don't owe nobody loyalty. You know, like y'all siblings, so y'all gonna love each other. Y'all gonna be there for each other because that's who y'all need to be there for. But as far as anybody outside of that, you don't owe nobody none of that. I'm drilling that in my children's head. You don't even got to be faithful in a relationship. And I'm not trying to even be harsh by saying that, but like, for real, you don't have to. That's your choice if you choose to be faithful and love this person and this and that. If that person breaks your trust, then they get the consequences of that. They don't get away with that. They don't get forgiven for that. They get the consequences of that. They get held accountable for what they've done to you. These are the things I teach my children. Because see, relationships, marriages, fucks people heads up in believing that this is the key to life and this is the answer to life. And it's not. I mean, if you find that to be the answer, if you feel like you want to be loved and married and that's your answer, then let that be your answer. But over here, like that, nah. For people who are striving for something. You do have room for that. You choose to have room for that, but you choose to have room for it in your own kind of way. Get offline. No more online dating. Go out here in the world, find somebody to mingle with, because they can't hide from you. And even if you talk to them enough and this and that, then you can start seeing the little telltale signs, maybe ask questions and shit like that, and then just keep it moving. But one thing that I see the most with people who are creative and artists, they hang around and associate with other creatives and artists. They associate with people who are their muses and who they see as their mentors. They get close to the people that they call their mentors. I sat down, and I'll give you an example. So I've been studying scripts, and I watched Shonda Rhimes masterclass again, right? Because it's years now from when I first listened to it. And then I listened to somebody else. I listened to Aaron Sorkin. And I sat back and I was just doing a lot of things. And Shonda said she likes West Wings, which is written by Aaron Sorkin. And I said, I've been studying West Wings. I've been literally studying that script. Like, do you know how hard it was for me to sit down and watch that shit without falling asleep? I finally watched it thoroughly, okay? Studied the script, listened to it, everything. And then it hit me. I said, oh, shit, this is the same feeling I got. And it hit me. I said, it's the same feeling I got when I was listening to Scandal. Scandal, I felt like the script was just too damn fast. It was just too fast. And she actually just explained the script and everything from her masterclass and stuff. But it hit me, and I said, Aaron fucking Sorkin. She was inspired by Aaron Sorkin when she wrote Grey's Anatomy. That's why, Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, but I said mostly Scandal. That's why Olivia Pope was sleeping with the president, and she was a fucking lawyer, but she was a different type of lawyer. And then I looked at West Wings and I saw exactly where her entire inspiration came from after all these years. But why did I see that? Because my mind has been focused on that realm of artistry. So therefore, I didn't really want to watch Issa Rae. Something about it, I was like, I don't really want to watch the Issa Rae, but I'm going to go ahead and just give it a shot to see what she's talking about. And I realized how colorful hers was. Then anybody I watched, Stranger Things was like 80s kind of colorful, but it wasn't kind of colorful. Like Issa Rae had that African colorful shit going on, right? Meaning that they all come with class, like they actually have a class booklet that you can read, right? And that you can save and stuff. And so when I listened to her and she talked about what she did and how she did it, and I was like, okay, this class is not bad. I didn't really capture who her muses were. I didn't really capture who Issa was inspired by. I just didn't capture any of that when she talked. But she did mention Shonda, because she said it if you listen to it, and how basically Shonda wanted, she had a script called I Hate Men in LA. I Hate LA Men or something like that. And what happened was Shonda was working with her in the script. And so Shonda was trying to make the main character light skin with long hair. And she was like, she didn't want to do that. She's talked about it plenty of times. That's how I knew she was talking about. And I was like, oh, it makes so much sense that I wasn't gravitating towards Issa Rae. But do you see how the energy flows and how it goes? Because when you are vibrationally aligning to something, that is the feelings inside of yourself that is creating that. When you put feelings into something, you're putting energy into something. So when you don't put no feelings or energy into nothing, it don't really bother you. And I'm sharing this with you because it circles around this way. Okay, and again, that's the world that I'm in. So it circles around this way. And this still applies to the person that you keep next to you. See, I pay attention to what I attract when I'm with somebody. versus when I'm by myself. See, I noticed that certain type of males come around when I'm around certain type of women or a certain woman. I'll be like, I don't see these kind of males when I go outside, but when I'm with this person, I do. I don't cross paths with these kind of males by myself, but when I'm with this person, I do. You have to realize, like, be honest with yourself, like, damn, I don't, when I'm by myself, this is what I attract. This is the kind of things I see. Sometimes I don't even see people, and this is what I experience. Sometimes this place is empty when I come here, damn. But when I'm with this place be crowded as fuck, and I'll be seeing this kind of person, and this person want to talk to me, and this person got an attitude, and this and that. That's that person's energy. It ain't yours. But the only way you're going to know what your energy is until you go outside. And see, the purpose of going outside and what I'm telling you about your energy is because you have to check yourself. What kind of people do you fall into? Do you allow yourself to be flattered? Did you go outside and attract the very same thing that you didn't want to attract when you left the town that you came from to go somewhere else? You gotta check yourself. I you just gotta check yourself. My problem is I put myself in spaces with people who are not worthy of me. Who are not worthy of me. I put myself in spaces with people who are not deserving to be in my space. That's what I did. That's what I did. That's the mistakes I've made in my life. So you have to look at that for yourself. Even the relationships that I have chosen were not worthy of me. But you have to be able to do that level of self reflection. Talk to Chat GTP. Chat GTP, man, I'm trying to tell you, get your life. Be a whole therapist for you on Chat GTP. Just make sure you know what you're getting into and make sure you're channeling right. You get some answers that you probably were not ready to understand or receive. All right, y'all. I'm going to shut it down from here. I didn't realize it was an hour and 41 minutes. It's been a quick show, but I guess that's quick enough, right? Um, Let me see if there's anything new on this damn thing. Banners. Okay. The banners are the same. I don't see nothing different. Yeah, StreamYard is bringing it. They dragging it. Like they really on some shit. Like really stepping this shit up. And they trying, bro. And that's not like some shit. The meditation shit. Say that I like. One thing that I do like is this audio is looking like I can mute myself as well. So when somebody comes on the stage, what happens is I can adjust their audio or I can adjust their audio or clean their audio up. They should have been doing that shit. They should have been doing that. So that's when, because now there's a people. See, I can see how loud my microphone is. I can see myself. I could turn my microphone down if I need to. I didn't even realize I was that loud. And then if somebody else come on, I can fix and adjust their microphone, put it on auto or something like that. They should have been did this shit. I'm not trying to do it, bro. I mean, it looks better. It looks like kind of like Talk Shoe was, but they finally stepping it up. But because everybody's using StreamYard over fucking OBS, because you got to have fucking a ton of space to have OBS. I'm like, damn, I thought I had 1 TB. What the fuck, OBS? Anyway, that's it. Tonight I said a lot, and I mean everything that I said as well. And you can always go back and listen to a whole bunch of other shows that I did, especially the ones that say we doing Pop at Bitchcraft Radio, like, and then it has a topic. Yeah, those are the ones where I really go in on a lot of things. But the ones I've been talking about lately, where you just see the topic at the top, just listen. I got a lot of shit that I've been saying. A lot of shit I've been saying because I've always thought about things this way. I didn't know how to articulate them, but I knew I never articulated them because I was like, I need to feel this. I need to live this first, and then I can articulate it. That's how I move. And so once I start living my life in the way that I've been thinking inside of myself, by healing, by doing my own self-reflection, by looking at myself, by looking at my life, now I know the next moves I need to make is I need to go back to my waxing. I need to go back to like really doing my nails like I used to, doing my feet like I used to. Like a lot of that body self-care has to come back into my life again. I have to do that again. And I know that the steaming and all the stuff that I have going on, like I need to do that body self-care again. And I know that I also need to go back into that place of every day having an outfit together and ready when I walk out the door and stuff like that. So, these are little steps of things that I have to do because in order to be the part, you have to look the part. You know what I'm saying? You have to look the part. And so that's like a part of what I've been doing for myself, right? So, anything else I want to add? I think that's it. I think I said enough. So, man, don't let nobody make you feel like because you're not standing there with somebody else by your side that you're not worthy of, that your life is not complete. Your life is only complete with yourself. If you want to learn how to love yourself, there's plenty of books to teach you how to love yourself. There's a book called Be the Love That You Wish to Seek. Because that's what you need to do. You need to be the love that you wish to seek.